Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are doing another part of our wood burning. This is part 3 and probably the last for some time. So I'm making two things here today. I am doing a address sign and I'm doing a coffee station sign. So this is the piece that I'm using for my coffee station, and then you'll see the one for my address sign. So I'm using a soldering iron for this one. I used the wood burning paste and the scorch pens on the two previous videos. So for this one, it's the same thing. I use my vinyl to cut out the design that I'm going to use. They also have stencil vinyl that you can use, but you can get that at either Amazon or anywhere online. I haven't seen them in stores. To be honest with you, I've never found them in stores, but I've always found them online. Amazon is the one that I usually get it from. So the only thing different about this video compared to the last two, I used the vinyl, but instead of using like the soldering iron to burn everything on here, I used my pen because I'm tracing everything. I'm tracing the whole design onto the wood piece, and then I peel the vinyl off. This is what I do with both pieces. And then once I'm done tracing everything onto the wood piece, I then get my soldering iron out. Now, I don't color in like the big numbers, but in the previous one, like the sign for the coffee station, I did color that in with the pen. And after I did it, I was like, ugh, I should have never did that. But anyway, I traced everything on here, and I did both of them because I was doing them at the same time. But you'll see what I'm doing with them later, because this is a sign that's going to go outside, and then the other sign, of course, is going to go in my kitchen. So once I peel this off, I use my soldering iron. Now, I bought this soldering iron from Amazon, and I think it got here like in 2 days or something like that. But anyway, I took it out. This one comes with like different attachments to it. So it comes with like, I think it's 4 or 5. But you just take the piece off that's there, and then you put the piece that you want. I started with the thin piece because I wanted it to have like a fine tip. That way I'll be able to write on everything and do the lines with it. So that's what I did. I switched that off, and then I turned it on, and then this has like a temperature, like the wheel. So you can just set the temperature to whatever you want. I think it goes up like as high as maybe 450 or something like that. So once I turned it on, I put it to the temperature that I wanted. I think I put it to the middle, and I waited a couple minutes. It heats up really fast, and it gets really, really hot. So you need to be careful when using this, as well as the heat gun like I used before. So I used a fine tip, traced all the fine lines on here, and I did the same thing with the coffee sign. So once I was done with doing this one, I moved on to doing the coffee sign, which is, it has more details, if you know what I mean. This one has leaves on it, so like I said, it has more details. It's got a coffee mug, it's got coffee pot, it's got coffee beans, it's got the little leaves or whatever. But I wanted it to look cute, because after I'm done using the soldering iron, I am going to paint this a little bit. So once I was done using the fine tip, I let it cool down for a little bit, and then I changed the tip to like a flat one. It's got like a flat tip on the end. And once I'm done, like once that's done warming up, then I go back and I start burning onto, like, just to shade in the dark spots. Like I wanted to look like it was coffee inside the cup, so I did that. I did the coffee beans because I wanted them to look dark brown, and then I end up doing the leaves that's right underneath coffee, and then I do coffee. I do the word. I fill in the word because I wanted to color in the word coffee and not leave it, empty like that. So I end up filling that in, as well as everything else that I did in, like that I filled in. And then of course, but first also gets colored in. Like I said, I should have just traced it instead of just coloring it all in with the pen, because you don't really see it, like the wood burn on there, but I did color that in. I mean, you can tell a little bit, but not too much. Once I was done, this wood doesn't get really that hot, so you don't really need to let it cool down like I did with the other pieces. But this one, I wanted to add some color to it. So once it was done, I then got my color. I'm using DIY paints. The colors are going to be in the description box below. If you want to purchase DIY paints, you can order them from Sammy. Unicorn Dust Design, that's where I get mine from. So once I was done coloring the coffee mug and the coffee pot, I then do the leaves, and I do the leaves in green. Also DIY paint. So like I said, the colors that I'm using on here will be on the description box below. So once I'm done with this, doing the coloring, I then add the string back on so I can hang it up in the kitchen. And then this is how, you know, it turned out. It's actually turned out really cute. And now we can move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the address sign. So this is me using the flat one because I wanted to color in like the number 1 and whatever I missed on the F, and then I'm doing the numbers. So I did the number 8, the 0, the 2, and the 9. So once I'm done coloring these in, I do not paint the wood behind it or anything else. I figured I'd leave it like this. It gave it more of a better look. And I don't coat this with anything, even though I feel like I should have put like a sealer on here, just something to protect it, because it will be outside, but I didn't. And I was going to put my Verifane, but I didn't put that on there either. It's your choice if you want to. I personally did not, but I could have. But this is going to go on, it's going to be like a hanging sign. So I got these flower pots from the dollar store. Now, I do not have a green thumb. I am not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest, and I do not have a green thumb. I grabbed these from the Dollar Tree and I punched the holes on it. And I got some soil from Home Depot. I got some flowers from Home Depot, and I put it together. So I got this sign. I also got this from this metal rod from the dollar store. It would go on the ground, but I wanted to put it on here because I want the flowers to be on the bottom. So I drilled the holes onto the bottom of this, like in the middle section where it's going to be, and then I pushed it down. So it is a little wobbly in the middle, but once I put the soil in and I put the flowers, I put it in a good position where I wanted it to be, and then it ended up just staying in place. So it actually worked out really, really good. But yeah, I put the soil. I do use some hot glue to glue the two pieces together. They do stack up, and they have like the indent for you to put one on top of the other. So I use the glue, put it in place, and then I put some glue where the rods are going to be, like those two pieces, and then I push it down because I want that to be, I don't want it to be visible, through the flowers or anything. So once I put that in place with the hot glue, I push it down, and then I start to fill it up with soil. So I got this soil. This is the potting soil from Home Depot. And then, like I said, I put as much soil as I could. I do not have a green thumb, so I just did it how I don't know, how I knew how to do it. You know what I mean? And then once I put the soil in there, the flowers that I did buy, I ended up putting them in place, and then I put more soil in there. And then once I was done, I got that ready to put outside. I set it to the side, and then I started to put the chain onto my sign. Now I got this chain from Home Depot. I can't remember. I think it's in the hardware section, but it's just a section that you get chains from, and this is like one of the smallest one that they have there. So I only got 1 foot of this because I didn't need it so long. So I opened it up a little bit, and the sign already comes with the little hooks for you to add like a chain or a string, and it came with twine, but I didn't want to put the twine out there, and I figured it'd just be best if I just bought the chain. So I bought the chain, opened it up a little bit, put it in place, and they actually fit very well with the hook. All I had to do was literally just slide it on, because I didn't have to open it or anything. The holes are actually big enough to go onto that sign, that hanging hook that I have there. So once I put it on there, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't gonna open or anything, so I used my soldering iron, and I don't know if I'm able to do it, but I ended up doing it, and it worked out fine, to close up the hole that was already there and fill in the hole with the little metal thing that came with it. So once that was done, this completed this one, and I put it on the sign and put it outside, and this is how it turned out. If you stayed to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. To the next one. Bye.